I'm Kiara. I'm a registered celebrant and a sacred ceremonialist. And today I want to help you answer the question, what type of ceremony do you want? And to be able to answer that, you of course need to know what are your options and what differentiates those options. So I'm going to go through that with you, and then hopefully by the end you'll have a better idea of what you want to create in your wedding ceremony, how you want it to look and where you want it to be. All right, let's get started. So the first main differentiator is, do you want a religious ceremony or a civil ceremony? So if you are religious and it's a big part of your life, then probably your option is to go for a religious ceremony with the religious leaders of your religious organisation. It does mean you have usually a little less personalisation and maybe less options with the venue. But if that's your values, then that's going to be okay with you, and you're going to feel like it's the most important part is that it goes through your religion and your religious values. So then the other option is to work with someone like me, a celebrant. So even if you are religious, I just want to go back to that, you can go to a civil celebrant, which is what I am, and you can ask them to create a ceremony that's personalized to you and to include religious elements such as prayer or traditional rituals. So you can have that option. If you're not religious, whether you're spiritual and just non-denominational or you're atheist, you can choose to go with a celebrant-run wedding. So with a celebrant, you go out and you pick someone who aligns with you and your values and the vibe that you want on the day, and then you create together the ceremony that you want, that you are looking for. And you can do, with a celebrant, you could have a legals only or elopement style wedding ceremony. So legals only is usually more cost effective. It is more cost effective, but you're really just getting the basics. You're getting the basic vows. You're not generally getting like your love story shared. There will be less customization. It's a ceremony that's already kind of planned, and they just pop your names in and maybe a poem that you've chosen, or maybe one ritual, depending on the celebrant, what they include. So there's the legals only or elopement style wedding ceremony with a celebrant. And then there's the personalized full ceremonies. That's like you've got all your guests there, and you get to really create the ceremony the way that you want it. That is probably what you see the most when you attend a wedding. Probably what you expect the most from a wedding. So it's what I've seen the most anyway. And then there's another option to have a register wedding. So in Melbourne, in Victoria, you would go to Melbourne. I think that's the only place in our state that does it. There's a beautiful, beautiful building that you can get married in. You're getting married with the registrar, the people there who can do it for you. You can have up to 10 guests. The standard ceremony script, but there is some personalization available as well. And the pricing for that is between $390 to $590. Obviously, I didn't give you pricing for the religious one or the celebrant one because they can all be different. But for this, I can. That's the pricing to expect for a registry style wedding. And then there's the option to do a commitment ceremony that's not legally binding. So you wouldn't be married at the end of it, but you get to exchange your vows and to unite in your own version of a lifelong commitment, or perhaps it's not the exact commitment that you want to make. Like a soul long commitment. I don't know. Some people don't love the government or the law, and they would actually choose this option based on that. They don't want to have to send the paperwork off to a government to have it verified. Or maybe they specifically want to make a vow that's not lifelong, and in Australia it has to be. So yeah, if you want to make the commitment without the legally binding stuff, then a commitment ceremony is your other option. So let me just run back through them one more time. So there is a religious ceremony, there's a celebrant run ceremony but with religious elements. There's a celebrant run legals only ceremony. There's a celebrant run full personalised ceremony. Again, that's probably the most common that you've been to. I guess unless you have a religious community, then you've probably... Anyway. And then there's the registrar wedding. That's in Melbourne and has standard ceremony scripts. And then there's the option of a commitment ceremony that's not legal but is a way to share your love with your loved ones. So I hope that helps you to decide what's right and true for you. And that's all that matters. What is right and true for you and for your marriage.